Alright, so Luka had his official Lakers debut last night against the Utah Jazz after being traded by the Mavericks in the league's most shocking move before the trade deadline. And in front of a sold-out crowd, Luka put up 14 points in just 24 minutes. Now, the shooting percentages were obviously below average for Luka, right? But remember, this was his first game since Christmas Day when he was out due to a calf strain. So I imagine he'll need about a game or two to get back in rhythm. But here's LeBron to Luka, and this is very interesting. I want you guys to see this. Here's LeBron to Luka prior to tip-off in the huddle. Check it out. Yep, so LeBron tells Luka prior to tip-off to just be himself and to not fit in, but to instead fit out. And I think Luka needed to hear this because in the wake of these critical reports over his alleged conditioning, his fractured relationship with Mavs ownership, and just everything as a whole, LeBron saying this, I think, gave Luka the confidence he needed going into last night's game. So here's Luka talking about how cool that moment was with LeBron post-game. And before I share this clip with you guys, all I ask is for you to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Here we go.
To fit out with this team.
I mean, it's, like I said before, it's special. You know, for him to say something like that just feels amazing, give him confidence. And, you know, after that speech, it was chills. So I'm just happy to be part of it.
It's wild, man. Luka is really a Laker. But yeah, man, the Luka era in LA starts now. And it's crazy to me how people think that a duo of LeBron and Luka won't work. Now, obviously, there's going to be ups and downs, right? There's going to be some, heartaches, tough times. But I truly believe that this duo has the potential to be very deadly on the simple fact that you have two of the league's smartest players on the same team. And this story for today's video, I think, further elaborates that point. So it says, going into Monday night, Luka Doncic had been a member of the Los Angeles Lakers for 9 days. But that stretch almost didn't feel real, given that LA's newest star had been sidelined with a calf injury. Even after a press conference, a jersey unveiling, and seeing Anthony Davis suit up for the Mavericks, it still seemed almost like a collective fever dream we were all sharing. Well, if you had any lingering doubts about whether or not any of this was in fact real, they were erased on Monday. Now healed and settled in his new home, Doncic suited up in purple and gold, and while the stats weren't gaudy, he and his new team managed to put on quite a show. The Lakers waltzed to a 132-113 victory over the lottery-bound Utah Jazz, and Doncic posted 14 points, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds in the 23-minute effort. It was what we can assume will be the first of many victories for Doncic as a Laker. It's only been a single game, but Doncic and the Lakers just gave us our first glimpse into what the rest of their season will look like. Here are some immediate takeaways from Doncic's debut and what it means for his new team. Alright, whenever two high usage stars partner up, doubters tend to argue that there's only one ball. Doncic and James are two of the greatest one-on-one shot creators in NBA history, and both are used to monopolizing their offenses. That suggests that their partnership at least had the potential to be suboptimal, and perhaps diminish the two of them altogether. They can't both dribble at the same time, and Austin Reeves, fresh off a career-high 45 points against the Indiana Pacers on Saturday, probably needs the ball occasionally too, right? That's what the casuals are saying. Yeah, it turns out putting two of the smartest players the sport has ever seen on the court together at the same time can yield pretty positive results. James and Doncic played roughly 19 minutes together. The Lakers won those minutes by 17 points. The two aren't meaningfully interacting all that much on offense yet, which for those who are watching this video, that is scary. But that's likely to come with time. James was a willing and very successful screener for Doncic's former teammate, Kyrie Irving, during their time together with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Eventually, the two seemed nearly certain to develop a two-man game of their own, which I'm excited to see. Monday was much more about benefiting from the other's presence on the court. James and Doncic both made sport of switch hunting bigger Jazz defenders, most notably Walker Kessler, on the perimeter so they could attack them one-on-one. Switching is almost never an optimal strategy against star ball handlers, but the Lakers forced Utah's hand with some of their lineup decisions. James and Doncic are used to facing defenses that are entirely keyed in on them individually. Now they get to play defenses whose attention is split, right? I was saying this in the previous video. James in particular looked eager and refreshed on that front. He has spent the better part of his Lakers tenure begging the team to find him the right ball handling partner. That's what led them down the Russell Westbrook rabbit hole. Now that they finally done so with Doncic, James looked as spry and engaged defensively as he has all season. And I have to be honest with you guys, that on the defensive side of the ball, that's the most effort I've seen LeBron display all year. Now that he doesn't have to run the Lakers offense every single possession, he can devote more energy to other facets of his game. The Lakers are going to benefit tremendously. The fit was initially clunky when James first partnered with an on-ball star of Doncic's caliber, Dwayne Wade in 2010. But James is a different player today than he was back then. He was just a 32.9 three-point shooter when he arrived in Miami. For instance, over the last 2 seasons, he's above 40% from deep. His experiences with Wade and Irving taught him all the little tricks of playing off the ball. Optimal screening and cutting and misdirection technique. Now he gets to apply all of that knowledge with Doncic by his side. There are certainly other questions here, but the fit between the two principal figures here really shouldn't be a matter of debate. They're going to be great together. And for the people who still think that LeBron and Luka won't work, right? Basketball Network dropped a post that I would like to share with you guys. Let me switch my screen here. Okay, Basketball Network dropped a post 20 hours ago. And it reads, Rick Carlisle doesn't get why people think the LeBron-Luka pairing isn't a good fit. Quote, I don't see any world in which it doesn't work great. Let's go to the caption. It says, Indiana Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle, who was a very respected coach in the NBA, by the way, had no doubts about the new star tandem. Quote, I don't see any world in which it doesn't work great. We're talking about two guys who, when they came into the world and started playing basketball, were expected to have statues built for them. The level of expectation on these two guys is hard to fathom. As I was around Luka more and more, I became more aware of the kind of pressure that must be on him. He has such charisma, ability, skill. He goes into a game and just decides how it's going to be played. And LeBron does the exact same thing. So think about this. You have two players that can control the entirety of a game, and they're both on the same team. I agree with Rick on this take 100%. And I'll leave it at that, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I'm out.